Hi, everybody. Hello. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Let's do this. Hi, Janet. Welcome. Good to see you. Sharon? I think there's about 4 or 5 of us that are live right now. My goodness. It's like, okay, you guys, this is my normal spot. So, but yeah, Freebird Spirit. I think she's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Mountain. So, no? Good. That means I'm here. No, I know there's some special shows today. I know Freebird Spirit is going to be coming on right around 1 Mountain Standard Time, which will be in about an hour. And then Sonia Rain Lee has someone coming on talking about I love you, Janet. You can call me anything you want to. I love Sharon. I love all the Sharons that are in our group, Well, I understand completely. I'm trying to think, what did we do last week? I don't think I really did anything outstanding last week. So last week was more of a chit chat time. I did show a coloring book, and that's, today is kind of the beginning, since spring is now officially here. I want to use today as a starting point, a jumping off point to promote my new concept, my new live stream that's every Thursday. It's going to be every Thursday evening between 5 and 6. Will be different guests, sometimes one, sometimes more than one, just depends on how their schedules work. The Light Workers Roundtable. Spirit told me as I'm watching on Saturday, we all need a place to come to where we can discuss what do we do to keep our vibrations high when things are tough. And the next couple months are going to get real tough. And I don't know why, but that's just something inside me just says get prepared. And Spirit told me a place where we can come and we can all discuss what we do to raise our vibrations. Listen to the teachers and the tarot card readers, the mediums, the psychics, and the astrologers. What do they personally do on those days when all of this energy has sucked you damn dry? There are days when you feel like that. And the whole purpose of the Light Workers Roundtable is we're all gathering here because we're light workers. We have a job to do. We've been brought together for a reason. And this roundtable is to help us discuss it, plan it, and activate it. So yeah, I got goosebumps. Hi, Crystal. Good to see you. Yeah, I got goosebumps on it, so much so that right after I pulled my card of the day this morning, I actually asked Spirit, what do you want me to talk about in my live stream today? So I grabbed my shamanic, flips cards around, the Shamanic Dreams Oracle deck today. It's my position number 2 in Saturday Solutions. It's the deck we always use to see our dreams and goals. And Spirit told me use those today for, you guys want a card and that kind of thing. We're going to use these cards. But I pulled cards to start us off with. And, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Crystal. The first card is the lay of the land. In dealing with what we're going to be dealing with as we go through difficulties, we're going to be asked to really look at the lay of the land. Because communications may be difficult. We're going to be required to use our abilities, our knowledge, and what we learned from our ancestors. Got to ask our ancestors. You know, they've been through this. My parents, some of you guys, your grandparents, went through World War II, went through the Great Depression. My mother was born in 1921, okay? Right at the tail end of the Spanish flu. What she saw in her lifetime, the changes, she went from living in the desert where they didn't have no electricity. So they didn't, she lived on a cattle ranch. They didn't have electricity, so they didn't have anything. Refrigerator, what's that? Ice box? Yeah. Ice box. She didn't have an ice box. Her dad's store had ice boxes, but no ice. How good is an ice box without a chunk of ice to put in there? All they were oversized coolers. So to keep their meat and stuff cold, they dig a hole in the ground and wrap everything in wet burlap. Because as it evaporated into the ground, it cooled it. And that was the refrigerator. So what they didn't cure, like make jerky and stuff out of, they had to eat in a hurry. So those kind of things we don't know about in our civilization today. So we definitely need to be relying a little more on our ancestors. You get a chance to go to a library book sale, I recommend go. Look for books on herbology, books that help you identify plants, because there's a lot of things that we classify as weeds. Purslane, for instance. That grows everywhere, I think almost everywhere in the United States. We call it a weed, and it's one of the most nutritious greens out there. And it tastes good. It just kind of got a weird texture because it's kind of like aloe vera on the inside. So it's a little gel, kind of weird stuff. So the first thing we've got to do is ask our ancestors. The next card is a really important card. Gave me goosebumps. And we're going to find not our solitude, our place in deep quiet. Now you notice the number on this card? This has come from the divine, not my spirit guides. That's a power number. The power number. We are not just being recommended to do meditation and find the stillness. We're being told to do it. If you do not know how to meditate, boy, are there a lot of meditations out there that are pre-recorded to get you started. But the most important thing to remember about meditation is breathing. Breathing slow and deliberate. So to hear our ancestors, we need to find that deep, quiet place. They're talking to us. They're constantly saying, hey, listen to me. And we're all in the, this is going on. And what did he say? Oh my God. Stop. That's all noise. And it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's intended to be noise to distract you. This is the next card that I got. We need to access our ancestors' wisdom for deep quiet, meditation, and stillness, so that with our third eye and our intentionality of the third eye, which is our spirit, our higher self, it's our clarity of vision. That third eye needs to thread through the needle to help bring us in this new change, to usher it in. It's so exciting what's coming. But it is going to feel like you're riding a camel being threaded through a needle. Keep your intentions pure. You can keep your intentions pure by staying in meditation as often as you can. You know, a lot of times at night, that's the only time I find that it's quiet enough for me to meditate. I don't get like people texting me and people calling me and, all this stuff going on. So as I lay down to go to sleep sometimes, that's the most comfortable position I can find. No, my feet aren't attached to the ground, but I do grounding exercises outside. I'm a gardener. My hands are constant. You should see me scrubbing my fingernails today. I was like, oh my gosh, you look like you've been working on a car, because I'd been out digging in the dirt earlier. That grounds you. That connects you to the Earth's magnetic field, which is healing. So that's part of my meditation and deep quiet and stillness. I listen to the sound of the air and the wind blowing in the trees. I listen to the birds. I have my little kitty cat that the universe brought me. She is a delight when I'm outside. She stays right at my feet. She's always, what you doing? What you doing? Such an innocent, interest. And I delight in that. So that's how I'm keeping my energy, partly how I keep my energy high. The final card that Spirit gave us this morning, bright and early. This was like 5 o'clock this morning. Spirit of the river. You do all these things. We do all these things. We access our ancestors' wisdom. We go and practice deep quiet with meditation and stillness, and practice it multiple times a day. That sends our light. That sends our love. That's our power. Is our light and our love. As long as we do that, our intentions are pure and perfect, and we'll slide through that eye of a needle. You won't feel so much like you're riding a camel, because you found the spirit of the river, which is diving in over your head, immersed completely in the flow, with movement towards adventure. Because you ever hear anything about the Renaissance after the Dark Ages, y'all? Talk about an adventure. Every day, new creations, art. Look at the art, look at the music, look at the architecture that came out of the Renaissance. Governments change structures. This is what is coming. We're on the cusp of it. That's why the darkness is going, no, trying to fight back. Because as before, the Dark Ages had to give way to that Renaissance because it was so bright. That it fought back, and we ended up with, the Spanish Inquisition and things like that. So this struggle between good and evil, and it's not even really a struggle between good and evil, bad and whatever. It's lessons about the choices that we make. And how quickly we make them and why we make the choices that we make. You know, we get angry, we get scared, and we make a rash decision. We make a quick decision. How often do those end up being the biggest lesson of all because you didn't take the time to step back and breathe and just absorb what's going on in front of you and around you so that that decision is not rash and reactionary. Manasa, mwah, my sweet, wonderful to see you. Yeah, that message was today loud and clear. It was like, you're setting up the Light Workers Roundtable with your live stream today. The whole purpose of it is to raise our vibrations to bring in this renaissance. But as a part of this renaissance, making it different than the renaissance of before, we're bringing in a protection. We're intentioned on protection while we take our adventure. Our intention being protection, that's children, each other, animals, the earth, and the cosmos. And in the end, the collective. So yeah, kind of deep stuff coming through. Actually, Manasa, Saturday morning was when I got the name. I love coming to your live stream on Saturday morning because Spirit is like talking to me. You and Lily. Saturday was so beautiful. Yeah, that's where I got the concept for this. And it was like, and you will do it right away. So I was like, I had already invited Sherry to come on, and it was like, I don't know what we're doing, but we'll do something. We'll figure it out together. And then boom. And what did it was Lily talking about abundance. And how abundance really means being able and willing to receive. I'm a giver. I'll give and give and give and give and give and give and give until I don't have anything left to give. If it's the last shirt on my back and you need it, it's yours. But I don't let people know when I need that. I need your last shirt because I don't have one. So, yeah, the abundance is all about being able to receive. So, yeah, Saturday was like bing, 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 like light bulbs, one right after another. It was beautiful. Thank you very much. I used to belong to this women's organization. And a part of it, grab my book here, my most recent. A part of it, and you'll find this in like law of attraction planners, and usually in the very front of the book, they will ask you to come up with a mission statement for your life, and that kind of a thing. Well, in this organization, this was what we did. This was, the whole idea was alchemy and manifestation. We worked up, it was kind of like a multi-level marketing thing. Anyway, as you worked up through the levels, as I worked up through the levels that I got as far as I did, it started me deeply on this path. So at least once a year, I try to do it twice a year. I write down in one of my journals. I make these, by the way. I'll read to you. This is what I wrote in 2017, 10:10 a.m. Yeah. Well, a while ago I saw 26:26. Have you guys ever seen that? Yeah, no, I'm not talking about it. It was a video or something that was stopped at 26:26. Oh, and I saw 777 yesterday for the first time in my life. Usually when I get the triple numbers, always in the past they'd stop at 5, which is, keep working. You're getting there. And all of a sudden, I skipped 6. And yesterday I saw 777 that says, congratulations, pretty much congratulations, it's on the way. I have been on cloud 9 ever since. And I think it's because of the Lightworkers Roundtable. I'm really, really, really excited about this. Because I think it's a place where we can all, whether you're readers or whatever, anyone is welcome to come on and we'll talk about it. And, this is not going to be just about us people who have channels. This is about as much or more about you that are in our chats. And you that are, oh, God bless you, are lurkers that don't ask questions, but have them. Maybe for whatever reason they're afraid to, or, whatever reason they don't ask those questions. We talk about our processes. Maybe it'll help you all develop your own, because you really do need to. Anyway, my suggestion, I digress. My life's purpose in 2017 was to be the conduit for humanity to live balanced in nature, to be whole and healed in body, mind, and spirit, focus my higher vibrational self, my authentic self. My life's vision, I love and respect myself as a beautiful creation of the divine. I live in a perpetual state of gratitude. That means I live in a perpetual state of receiving. This is my vision. This is what I want. I am ready to follow anywhere Spirit leads me. I'm a successful author, healer, and public speaker. I'm a steward of Mother Gaia and all of her creatures. My life's mission, which is different, this is where I am going. Okay? I'm available to others by being fully present and listening to them. Not thinking about what I'm going to say because of what you just said. What are you saying? And what are you saying in your tone? And what are you not saying? I live in harmony with nature on my homestead and wellness retreat because that's my goal. I was thinking, Spirit told me the other day, you need to get started on the GoFundMe for the wellness retreat. It blew me away because I never thought about doing it that way. There's always plenty of food on my table because what I create, I share freely. Abundance, love, joy, music, dancing, and laughter surround me because I'm a master of alchemy and manifestation. I suggest you guys try doing that. Just sit down. We are always telling you think about in detail what you want. Start with the generalities like this. It took me probably 3 years to get to be this detailed. It used to be, I want to be true to in spirit, and I hope I get to have, and no. I finally get that it's not what you hope for. It's what you're going to have. And if you look at it as hope, you're saying, I'm lacking this. I'm lacking this. Instead of saying, I'm creating this and it will be here. And it will be here. Yeah, it took me a long time to figure that out. It took a lot of forced solitude, as we've all kind of been through. But me personally, as I have no children, no spouse, no roommates, I've been very much in the deep, quiet solitude thinking, and almost to a point where it's been a little too much, the thinking part in my own head. So, yeah, I just thought that this was a way to get started on tomorrow, which I'll bring that up again in tomorrow, because when you do that, it's like, as you could tell, as I'm reading it, when you read that back, I'm reading that. That's reaffirming that. That's setting the intentions again. And so you read that every day. You will create what you wrote there if you read it and believe it every day. Sorry, eyes are leaking. That happens when I get emotional. And when I get in my authentic higher self, the emotions flow. So tears do too sometimes. They're not sad tears. They're just emotion. They're just because there's so much of it trying to come out that it comes out in tears and laughter. And, I'm a person who hates to have people see me cry, but not when they're these kind of tears. I don't mind these kind of tears. So, tears of sadness, I don't like other people to see me cry. And that's a silly pride thing, because it's good to show your vulnerabilities. You understand emotions, Crystal? I think we all do. It took me a lot of years to even identify mine, because I was raised that my grandmother was from the Victorian era, okay? She raised my mom that, women are quiet and yeah, do what their men say, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, when my grandmother grew up, if you were loud and voiced your opinion and that kind of stuff, you might get locked in a mental institution as a hysterical person. Really? Oh, you were bullied? Yeah. Put the cards away. I'm going, how come I can't put that up there? Let me show this. I certainly understand that, sweetie. When I was in junior high and high school, first of all, I went from going to a one-room school with 26 kids in all 6 grades to moving into town, into the city, and my father wanted me to get a good education, so he made sure that we lived in the area where I could go to the schools where the doctors and lawyers' kids went, all the rich kids went. I wasn't no rich kid. I was a little country bumpkin from a national park. I didn't know what stuff in town was all about. That was the 6th grade. You want to talk about vulnerable time in your development. So, yeah. From 6th grade clear through high school, I got bullied and made fun of because I had braces. Well, it just perpetuated. At first, I was overweight and I wore glasses, right? And I was as country girl as you could just about get. Yeah, big time country bumpkin. And as I got more civilized, got new glasses. Mom and Dad decided, well, we'll now put braces on. Before I just had a retainer. Then I went for the whole railroad tracks, you know, and that lasted until, hello, kitty. That lasted until halfway through my junior year of high school. Yeah, and that last year was awful because I had the rubber bands. They were kind of fun. Okay, you want to bully me? Fuck with me. Watch this. And I'd shoot my rubber bands because I had an envelope full of those little things. Kind of gross, huh? Usually what I shot that was one out of a rubber band. I wouldn't pull one out of my mouth to shoot at people. That's disgusting. They didn't know it though. But yeah, I never had a boyfriend all through high school. I did go to the prom. My senior year, I got to go to the junior senior prom. I went with a group of friends from church. Yeah, that don't fit me now. But we had a good time. At least I can say I got to go. And yeah, I did have a date, and I got a corsage, and my mother made me a dress, and we didn't have the money to go buy a dress, so my mother made me a dress. Well, handmade clothes, didn't work. The kids that I'd gone to school with were the rich kids. Your mother makes your clothes. Oh. Till home ec class came around, my mother was assistant manager of a fabric store here in town. All of a sudden it was, Katie, your mom waited on me when I went to get the stuff for class. She's so nice. Yeah, because she helped you. She had something for you that you frippin' needed. And then I'm like, yeah, she started teaching me that shit when I was 9. I skipped the little shift in the apron that you're taught the first year in home ec, and because I already knew how, I'd already made stuff like that. Aprons were nothing. I made a teddy bear. Matter of fact, I actually am getting ready, thinking about making another one. And I still have the dang pattern. Does it show the price on it? It's a Vogue pattern too. Does it show the price anywhere? Ooh, it was expensive back then. This is 1980s. 1994, sorry. $9.95. But, whoops, helps if you don't hold it upside down. I have an old Russian, real fur, Russian sable stole that was my mom's best friend's. I will never wear that. I'm going to make it into a teddy bear. A real fur teddy bear. I was going to make 2 of them, one for my brother and one for myself, but hey, he decided he didn't want a sister, so he don't need a teddy bear from the sister that he don't have, right? Yeah. Really, they didn't. Back in those days, it was everybody, well, it's still that way, you gotta wear the what's trendy, and but it's not. I love the youth now. Oh my gosh, that are all into getting vintage clothes and you know dressing the way they feel, not according to what's popular. It was like with me, it was platform shoes, bell bottoms, and then we got the glove jeans made by Levi's. They fit you around your butt like a glove, and then they went out huge bell bottom like things on the bottom. So they made you look like you were built like this. So it made you look like your waist was about that big around. I love those jeans. As a matter of fact, I'd take regular jeans and take the stitching out up the side of the legs and insert fabric into them to make them really wide like that. Well, you have a wonderful day, Manasa. God bless you. And we'll see ya. Hope to see you tomorrow evening between 5 and 6 Pacific. So that's about the drive home for a lot of people, or the dinner time, or just after dinner. Yeah. And I want you to come in, please, please. We will talk. I want a date that you can come and be on the Lightworkers Roundtable. And Lily, before Lily leaves, please, because she is a bright, bright light. Thank you. Yeah. Oh. I just, for the first time, Crystal, we're talking about being bullied. Most of my life, I always felt like I didn't quite measure up. Because all my teachers were always saying, she doesn't work at her potential, because school was easy for me. She's not working at her full potential. Well, they wanted the kid, that straight A girl that, yeah. That wasn't me. I was the B, C girl. Because grades, they didn't matter. I could recall that stuff. It's like, okay, you told me it, I read it. Okay, I can recall it. It just, if I wanted to. So, yeah. I always got that. And then I'd get from my father, like I do. Oh, he was such a narcissist. I would do everything that I could to try and keep, get an attaboy, good girl from him, right? As you do as a child of a narcissist. Never happened. Never happened. He wanted me, demanded I go to college. I had to, whether I wanted to or not. Okay, Daddy, you're paying for it. Fine. So I went to college and I partied for 4 years. Got a 2-year degree in 4 years. I wasn't mature enough. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't even know I should even have to choose what to do with my life yet. Just wasn't that mature. And but when I did go back to college, I graduated from college the first time in 1980. I went back to college 17 years later and graduated with a bachelor's degree in business information systems. Okay, I'll be here. Got a degree in business information systems, and went from there. And all I could do, what was it? Math class? Something I didn't get a good grade in, and I was really upset because I had his standards in my head for myself, and I was an adult at this point. It's like, there's no reason you can't get straight A's. What the hell's the matter with you? Well, I'm older and I forget easier, and I have other things going through my head, and although you know what? School was easier as an adult than it was at 18 because I could focus when I needed to focus. So he was all, don't worry about that. And I'm going, wow, my dad's giving me an attaboy. He says, I wouldn't worry about your math class. However, your code writing class is good, but you might want to try thinking about it this way. I'm going, Daddy, you don't even know how to turn on a damn computer, and you're telling me how to write computer code? I didn't measure up. He had to have something in his attaboy that was something. He thought he was encouraging me to work on something. And what he was doing was telling me, you're not good enough again. It's how you perceive things when you're told stuff. But when you're told stuff like that, every time you bust your butt, you get where you're like, okay, you're going to say I don't measure, why try anymore? Well, I never got quite got that way with him until, I was in my 40s probably. Yeah. So I know he's proud of me now, because not only did I get that bachelor's degree, I even went back again at 57 years old and I got a master's degree. And I got a master's degree in fine arts, in creative writing. So there are all 2 of us in my whole extended family with college degrees that advanced. So, yeah. Sharon Sipe! Hi, my sweet girl. Good to see you, sweetie. Oh, yes. Yeah, it's been interesting road. Oh, I pulled a goddess card also this morning. And I love this one. This is the one that's always, you guys. And I was thinking about the Ukraine when I pulled this card. Look at the colors. I was thinking about Ukraine and the mothers and the babies, because that's who I meditated on last night to, send the love and healing in the dome. And hi, Mama Bear. Hey. I figured there'll be a lot of these stopping by to say hellos, because I think there's 3 people going live here in the next hour. So going to be fun. Wednesdays are interesting. When I picked this time, there was nobody. There's so many of us now that you can't help but schedule on top of each other. Anyway, Irene, she's the goddess of peace. Also abundance. That's what the grape symbolize in the baby. New beginnings and abundance. What it says on the bottom is there's no need to worry, as everything is working out beautifully. The people of Ukraine are such a beautiful people. The life they were living before this was such a gorgeous country full of music and art, and they seem to be a pretty joyous people. And I'm thinking that this had to happen to show them that they truly are free, to show the whole world that countries that want to be free have a right to rule themselves and be free. The big powers don't have the right to tell these little countries what they need to do for their cultures. Our culture's our culture. Their culture's theirs. And our culture seems to be all bought and paid for. So that's my personal opinion. And I'm a buyer. And I've been hearing a lot lately about you need to stop because you've been brainwashed by the buy, sell, upgrade. Not anymore. Not anymore. I was actually shopping for summer clothes. You guys, oh my gosh. It's supposed to be 93 on Saturday. 90 on Friday. So I'm going, I need some summer clothes. I don't. I got t-shirts and stuff from last year. What do I need new stuff for? Because there might be a little hole or something, or maybe a stain on some shirt I had last year. Maybe I should do some research and see what the ancestors did to remove those stains from their clothes so they could keep wearing them. Or maybe even donate or resell them. Yeah, I've gotten very Somebody I was watching yesterday said something about liking Coke. Oh, I'm drinking a Coca-Cola and it tastes so good. And I went, I don't drink Coca-Cola. They're in Georgia because of the voting shit going on in Georgia. And I went, wait, you don't drink sodas, Katie. I don't drink sodas at all. I mean, if I do, it might be once a month as part of a DoorDash. And then I'm really disgusted that I did because there's nothing. It's just sugar, water, and carbonation. Blah, blah, blah. Add a little flavor. No, thank you. If I'm going to do that, I'll drink water. Oh, by the way, my reason I'm using this instead of my my beautiful crystal water bottle is charging at the moment with my selenium and stuff. So, yeah, that thing's cool because I couldn't put it in the window. I didn't want to put it in the window for the full moon because it was the worm moon, and you have to be careful with that particular moon because it has to do with grief. And look what's going on. So I didn't want to drink that water. I didn't want to drink the grief water. I want to heal the grief, not ingest it. So, yeah. Welcome back, Janet. So, today, of course, I will pull cards, especially if you have a specific question that you want me to pull a card on or pull multiple cards on. I'll pull more than one, depends on as I'm pulling what the story says. But, yeah. Using my favorite deck. This is my deck, my go-to. I want to know something about what I need to do. I go to my shamanic dreams. Oh, about this last moon? I didn't know it either. And then EQ and Sonia were talking about it on the last Soul Sisters. That if you do put that out there, use the water to water your plants. Don't drink it and don't give it to your pets. I mean, it's still going to do wonderful, magnificent, wonderful things for your plants and stuff. So, I mean, it still had a good purpose. Just you're ingesting the grief. And I can't even handle watching any of the imageries, not even a still picture. It shatters me. I've never been like this before. Images of war. Kind of just, I think I was numb to it before, but I wasn't as awake as I am now, and as in tune as I am now. Wow, I'm sensitive. That's why you guys, sometimes I come in and I come into the chats where everybody's at, and it's like, hi, everybody. And then I don't say a whole lot more. I'm really focused on what's happening, chat and all, and it's because that's how I'm recharging sometimes, and I can't say anything. It's not that I'm trying to be rude or, I am also, more often than not, I'm on my phone. So saying hi to everybody is really hard individually. So when I come in and I say, hi, everyone, classify that as your personal hello. Because I mean it to you personally, each and every one of you. Also, if I'm in a chat that I know is prone to getting trolls and I'm a moderator, you might not even know I'm there until I nab a troll. Just because that's how I moderate. It's how I prefer to moderate, kind of like Lucky Girl. I'm the silent, quiet mod. Silent but deadly. What I love it is when I post it, I'll be sitting in there and I won't say anything and I'll be being quiet because I'm watching for mods. And then I'll post something and the dang troll will come in and post right after me. And then I'm like, oh, bing, bing. Everybody's like, God, you're quick. And I'm like, no, he just posted right after me. I just, oh, bing, bing. I've been moderating and doing that for a long, long time. So, and sometimes when I'm on my phone and I'm trying to get somebody, I'll unhide somebody when I intend to hide somebody. And it also depends on how long my fingernails are at the time. Because, like, right now, the case I have on my phone, it's kind of thick and the phone is depressed down in it. So, reaching stuff, my fingernails get in the way. I got to get up here in the corner. The fingernail keeps my finger from touching. So, I see why Black and Orange does the press-on nails. I tried that in the beginning. So I bought a bunch of them so I can make my own press-on because I do sculpted nails. And I don't have anywhere to store them after I make them. And I am so hard on them that I pop them off like in the first half hour on the press-on ones. I'm just really hard on my hands. You should see the scars I have on my hands. There's reasons why I have arthritis like I have. And I gave up on poker shuffling. It hurts too bad. I can do it with my little cards. Oh, speaking of my little cards, Saturday Solutions, I had printed out my cards and that I'm making. But I printed them out on yellow cardstock and they were horrible. You couldn't even hardly tell what the images and stuff were. So I redid them all. And, from me playing around making cards and stuff, I bought a bunch of blank cards, right? So these little tiny blank cards. So I just reprinted out my cards and printed them on there and, glued them on there. So I can use them. We start out with the chakra cards. And they're all emblems. I mean, it's the chakra colors, the chakra emblem, but it doesn't say sacral, root, third eye, that kind of stuff. They say this one. We'll start with the crown chakra. I understand. Third eye. I see. Throat. I speak. Heart. I love. This one's kind of hard to see. There you go. Solar plexus. I do. Sacral chakra. I feel. Because that's your gut, basically. And your foundation, your root chakra. I am. So, yeah, they're kind of fun. And then the next one I created was the yes/no card. And it just all depends on how it ends up when you're shuffling. Instead of doing 2 cards, I thought, why? Do 1 card. Lands right side up, it's yes. Upside down, it's no. And then we go on from there. There's like 60 some in the actual oracle section of the deck. And they range from things like this one is spirit animal, stagnation. And then, so they're just very intuitive, very simple. Self-love. I'm not going to show you all of them because, hey, it needs to be a surprise. And I stole some words from songs. Dust in the wind. You know, Kansas, all we are is dust in the wind. And that is the meaning of that song. We come and go. This body is carbon. This one, I just showed you that one a while ago. Clarity card. Here we go. She looks happy. She must have gotten a raise. I know, she won the lottery. She's got financial stability now. So as we go on and on, let's see. This is one of my favorites. The veil. So yeah, momentum. Soaring. And let's find another one. It's a good one here. I like this one. These were really, really fun to make. Oh, this is a good one too. Tools. About using your psychic tools. Here's this is one of my favorites too. So as you can tell, there's like 60 of them. Well, we have dark ones in here too. And this is what we're all going through and preparing for. That breakthrough. See the crack in the land? Anyway, there's a whole bunch of them. Let's see. Let's find a funny one. Here's a good one. I like the cartoony ones too. Decency. She dropped her papers, so he's helping her pick them up. Simple acts, random acts of kindness and decency. You know what? I love it, Crystal. Those kind of decks that you do with markers and that you hand draw out yourself. I got this so quick that I was in Canva, so I made all of this in Canva. It took me about a week, and I did 5 to 10 cards a day. But that's because Spirit was just like, I want you to do this and this one and this one and this one and this one. Oh, first thing they gave me all the sentiments like decency, magic, decisiveness. Oh, here's a big one. You're fighting about little stuff. It doesn't matter. None of the shit matters. It's all going to change. It's all going to change. Eventually, it's the constant in life. Everything always changes. Oh, thank you. Spirit gave me the keywords. And I got these little cards off of Amazon. You can get the blank cards in all kinds of sizes. As a matter of fact, if you want to make a Rider-Waite deck, they even have the ones that have the plaid blue and stuff on the back for the Rider-Waite deck if you want to make your own. I do have a back for these. I just didn't print it on them because this is for me to practice with. Actually, I'm practicing with these so that I can write a guidebook to go with it. But this is the magic card. So I really had a great time. Mirror work. This guy. I love this guy. He goes with the soaring card. Learning to fly so you can soar. This one. These will be 3x5, by the way, when they're available to buy. Biggie. There's a biggie. And I had to throw the desert in there somewhere. I mean, those are my forest. That's the forest that surrounds Tucson, Saguaros. And I love her. This is what our message from Spirit was in my cards today. Go deep, meditate, and just be. $1.50? That's cool. Yeah, my next step too is I have to research where to get these published. Andrea was talking, Lilac Lantern was talking yesterday or the day before about how important it was to her to have her deck not be made in China. And I'm agreeing with her. I want to do an American company. But who? And I don't have access to a car so that I can do like Freebird Spirit does with her cards and, mail them out individually to everybody with a note, which is what I would love to do. However, I'm making these also for income for me. They're, I'm a big supporter of copyright. They will be copywritten and all rights reserved. They will have the ISBN number, which I don't know if you guys know what that is. Let me grab a deck here. Whoop. Oh, you don't want me to show you that deck. That's for people who have sexual issues. It's an interesting deck, but I can't show it on YouTube at all. What was I grabbing this deck for? Hello, I lost my train of thought. I dropped my dirty deck and it just took me with it. Try to pick it up. I'll tell you the name of the deck and you can look it up. It's pretty odd. Anyway, they'll show you the ISBN number. And usually there's more than one, because usually if you sell in Canada or overseas, you're going to have an international ISBN and you're going to have a local ISBN. That's your barcode and stuff. You see that part on the side that says made in China? I'm not going to do that. I'm tired of dealing with China. That's the deck I'm holding in my hand. One of my favorite tarot decks. Yeah, it's, girlfriend. I guess I could show this kind of, sort of. This is the deck I was talking. Yeah, dirty deck. It leaves nothing to the imagination. Okay. Even the back of the damn card. Can't show you that one. Even the back of the cards are highly suggestive. I didn't intend on going down this road today. But sometimes you get personal readings and people. Yeah, I can't show you these. They're, nope, too many nipples. But, yeah, that's what I meant by the dirty deck. Oh, the ethereal deck. It's gorgeous. The backs on it. They're purple. I'm a purple girl. That's the ethereal deck is one of my favorites. And it has even additional cards in it. So, but yeah, the backs. So pretty. Kind kind of interesting. That's the card that was on the top in here. Oh, and the next one below it is Judgment. Sometimes it's kind of fun to open up my cards because I usually try to leave it so that the last card I used or last card that was pulled is on the top. And it's kind of funny. Oh, you burned yours? Well, you know, been there, done that. I usually, as a whole, don't buy used tarot decks. Oracle decks, yeah. Tarot decks. Because it really does depend on who the previous owner was and what they used them for. Sometimes you can't clear the energy out of them. And the only thing you can do, because if I can't clear the energy out of them, I will not give them or sell them to someone else. So I burn them. Because if there's negative energy in them, I don't want to spread that. I don't want to release that out there in any way, shape, or form. Because it comes back on you. So, yes, thank you, Sharon. I love that. Yeah. So if you're, thank you. Sharon, you rock. Yeah, if there's something, I was listening to Linda G yesterday. Who's she talking to? I think it was Linda and Mel yesterday. And from Monday. And they were talking about spirit boxes. And she had been watching, I don't know, Ghost Adventures or one of those TV shows, and they were using a spirit box. And she said her guides were like, why are you watching this? Because there's no difference between that and a Ouija board. And these people that are using these quote unquote spirit boxes and thinking they're talking to someone in particular, they just opened a portal to anybody, any spirit who's willing to come in and mess with them. That's all a Ouija board does, is open a portal. That's all it does. Well, there's some portals to some dimensions and some spaces you don't want to open. And you get to messing with things like a Ouija board or spirit box. You're messing with magnetic fields with the spirit box. Yeah. You're inviting anyone in, which is the first thing David Johnson will tell you. Never do. That's why you put your pyramid over yourself and around yourself when you're a channeler or a medium. First thing you have to, if you've got a child that's a medium, you got to teach them how to protect themselves. That's why so a lot of mediums get diagnosed with mental illness. It's because they were misunderstood. That's all going to be different now. But yeah. So yeah, spirit boxes. Ooh. And it was really interesting that Linda G was talking about it, and I'm thinking, and then Debbie was talking about something she had watched that was, Phoenix, right? The Phoenix Rising. And then it was kind of disturbing. And it's like, I can't do any of that stuff. I usually watch Ghost Adventures and those kind of shows and laugh all the way through those because except for when they're like outwardly aggressively challenging spirits, because they don't know the harm they're leaving behind when they go, and it makes me angry because they aren't helping the people when they leave. especially these YouTube spirit people who have just, they don't really, some of them don't know what the hell they're doing, but it's cool and it's trendy and it'll get me views. So let's play randomotic. I can't even say that, let alone play it. And then they can't figure out why something scary shit happens to them, or somebody gets hurt, or you're inviting in forces that have no intention of your well-being being their top priority. So I don't even watch that stuff on YouTube. I do watch Bigfoot. But even there, I'm really skeptical. And I don't mean skeptical that they don't exist, because I believe 100%. It's not even believe. I hate that word. I know they exist. However, the videos that I see where there's a lot of dark, shady areas that are circled in red, that's a face and that's a face and that, I'm going, where? You know, where? And pareidolia is seeing a face. That's something our mind tends to do. Seeing a face in random space, like pixelization, and it's really bad with computers. So, yeah, some YouTube spirit boxers are just that. They're YouTube. You know, YouTube is a game. And anybody who thinks it's not, I got news for you. Yeah, there is. Yeah. You want to win YouTube? You want to get ahead in YouTube? You got to play the game. I don't. I'm not here to get ahead. I'm not here to be monetized. I don't care about that stuff. Not that I'm so wealthy that I don't care about financial stability, but YouTube doesn't bring about financial stability, okay? They don't pay enough, first off. It's all the extra, the merch and the Patreon and the donations that you do it with. It's not what you do from the ads and even YouTube membership. Only thing YouTube doesn't take their fair, almost half of, is the fundraisers that you can organize through YouTube. But you got to have enough followers to be able to even get into that section of YouTube. So I'm working on getting my community channel. That's why I keep putting up these little 5-second ads, ad videos for upcoming events on my channels. I need my community channel, you guys. So yeah, if you can like and subscribe and share, I would greatly appreciate it. And make life a lot easier for all of us. Because, you know, like I can take questions and, you know, it just makes our communication so much easier. In the meantime, I know most of you from Instagram also, you can always private message me on Instagram and I will answer you, and I will answer you right away. Right, Crystal? Yeah. That's the whole reason I have my Instagram. My Instagram is bigger. I have more followers on Instagram than I have here on YouTube. So, by about 150. So, but I also have 65 videos on YouTube, which I'm pretty proud of. That's just been since the 23rd of July of last year. So I haven't even been on here a year, and I've got 65 videos on YouTube already. So I'm pretty proud of that. It's better than I did with my channels before. Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of fun in our conversations, don't we, Crystal? And you do resin, and I want to learn resin. So, Manasa's daughter is somebody else who really does resin. And what she does stuff with crystals and stuff in resin. It's gorgeous. She makes malas and, oh my, that girl. Talented, beautiful person. Lily Benu. Lily, and I believe it's Benu is her channel. Almost blew out my candle. Got these really cool candles. They were a gift from a subscriber. And they have the little crystal chips in them. This particular one, I'm not going to try to even say it because it's the sacral chakra. Anyway. So it has citrine in it. Little pieces of, I can't tip it because the wax will run out. But there's little bits of citrine stone in the wax in the candle as it burns. And it's the scent of lemongrass. And then I have this one going also, which has, you can't see it either. I'll end up running it out, pouring it out. Tiger eye. Oh, that smells so good. Tiger's eye. Cedar. Tiger's eyes for your root chakra. So I wanted to be grounded today. So I did the 2 lower chakras. So, well, the first and third chakra. Wait a minute. Which chakra? I'm looking at the emblem on the eye feel. Yeah. Sacral chakra. Yeah, it came as a gift, and there's 7 of them, 1 for each chakra, and they all have stones in them. One for the third eye has, I think it's the one. See, the one for the third eye or the crown chakra has amethyst in it, which I'm big on amethyst. It's my birthstone, so I have lots of amethyst all over the place. Here, it's my pendulum is an amethyst. Go figure. This is a special kind of amethyst. It's a crystal that's got all kinds of crystals attached to it. It's a power stone. The energy that radiates out of that thing, if I have that too close to my night, like if I put it on my nightstand by my head, I can't sleep at night. It'll keep me awake. My Moldavite does that too. And it's really weird. It didn't do that at first. But I think as I've gotten attuned to it or something, well, I've gotten a lot more sensitive too. I can't always wear that now. And I used to wear it every day, all day, never took it off. My mind won't slow down. And I'm like buzzing, literally buzzing. And it's really cool to have a silly old rock. No, I'm kidding. Have a stone do that. But Moldavite is very special. Moldavite only happens in one place in the whole world. And that's the Czech Republic, Eastern European area. And it's from a meteor. And it's very rare. It's very expensive. And it's full of energy. Some people can't handle it. Some people can't take it. And the one thing I've learned about it is because you can get, you get the tumbled stones that are all smooth like this. But in the particular instance, like with a Moldavite, you're better off in getting something, well, I'm going to use this turquoise. You're better off in getting something rough like this turquoise nugget here. And yes, this is a real turquoise nugget. They're hard to get your hands on. I won't tell you how I got it. I have several of these. But you see how rough and bumpy that is? Moldavite, the more pronounced that protrusions are on it, the more energy it has a tendency to release. So if you get a really bumpy, rough piece of Moldavite, that one's going to keep you rocking. Literally. It's going to have lots and lots of energy. And there's lots of fake. It's kind of like amber. with resin, you can make Moldavite. Or what you can sell as Moldavite, but it's fake. And you can do that with amber as well. I will give you a little trick on how to tell real amber from fake amber. Fake amber, if you try to burn it, puts out a black smoke. It smells like the plastic resin that it is. Real amber, you try to catch it on fire, smells like wood burning. It smells like what it is, petrified pitch. And a gemologist taught me that at the gem show here in Tucson that we have every year. I had no idea that, and especially in the unusual colors of amber, like, hey, Maso, good to see you, especially greens, reds. This one has this dark black amber. That's actually a red, but it is so dark that it looks black. Those have more of a tendency to be the synthetic ones because people don't think about it. Ah, well, I'm really glad. I'm so glad. Hey, that truck, is that your work truck, dude? That's nice. Very nice. So you deliver for what, a lumber yard? Hey, we talk about alternative living. This is a great way for you to see what's available out there. Oh, I can imagine the inspiration you have in a day. Congratulations. That's really exciting. Yeah. Hey, after all my mess with the mice, I finally have a cat that showed up. Universe just let her, Stony Crow, hi. Let her just like show up in my yard. Someone dumped her. So she's living on my patio. She doesn't want to live in the house. My 2 half Maine Coon cats scare her to death because they're so big. So, but, oh my God, is she a mouser? Whoa! She doesn't just get him. She eats him. That's chow. She's like, snack time. So I catch them now. And I walk right by her bed on the patio when I'm going to release them outside. She's like, oh, ooh, here we go. And so she's right behind me. And sometimes I don't realize she's right behind me. I'll open it up and the mouse will go pew like a bullet out of there. And she's like, pew right on the mouse. And she missed one yesterday. So I finally got my mouser. No more mouse eating my pot plant. The other thing. Oh, yeah. They have some box trucks, and then the flatbed truck, it's a nice flatbed truck. It's brand new. That's more like for extra carryover work. Okay. But I'm driving and delivering. I'm also learning all of the machines they really need. That's cool because then you're probably learning like forklifts and stuff too. I always wanted to drive a forklift. I used to work for a company called Artisoft here in Tucson. This was early 1990s. And they built computer boards. And I worked in the warehouse for quality control and parts. So yeah, it was always fun watching this. And then I ended up working for the shipping department. Oh man, did I have fun working with the guys in the shipping department. I was the only girl. It was so much fun. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, pick his brain for sure. Someday to take over the shop for him, and he really wants to retire. That's cool. Congratulations. I'm really happy for you because I know you're kind of in limbo there for a while. See, good things are coming. Good things are here. Jobs, you guys, jobs are there for the going to be there for the picking. More jobs than we have people to fill them. Especially in the green sector, because that's a whole industry that's going to have to explode. We don't have a choice there. Oh, hey, and we used to listen to like Queensryche and Pink Floyd and Chris Isaac and, you know, Pantera and stuff like that in the shipping department. I loved working with those guys. It was a blast. It was a blast. Yeah. I was as a computer sitting at the computer printing out the labels to go on to slap on the packages. The packages would come by me on the conveyor belt and I double check the number and slap their label on. That was my job. Oh man, was that so hard. Yeah, Queensryche. Been a while, huh? I kind of miss them. I'm trying to remember the song. All I can remember out of the song is Lucidity. Ah, brain fart. Anyway, yeah, shipping department was a blast. And that's before I was really into even doing much with computers. That's before I went back to school. It was like 1991, and I got my Bachelor of Science in Business Informations in 97. So yes, absolutely. Yes, this place has a hard time finding reliable workers. So the shop foreman wants to retire before he can do anything that he needs to train one person to do everything in there. And that person's going to be me. Yeah, it is. I hear that determination. You're manifesting. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you're still going live like crazy. Saw you this morning. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of doing some stuff. I always try to go on your lives on Instagram, but for some reason, I don't know what's going on. Instagram won't let me even ask to join a live. It'll try to start it and then it'll say I get some stupid error message. And I just haven't, looked it up to see what I need to do to fix it. And go on a forum and find out what I need to do. You saw Queensryche in concert? But the funny thing was, the opening the band was much better than they were. You're not the first person that I've heard that from. Heart used to be like that too. It used to be my dream. I mean, ever since from Dreamboat Annie on, I wanted to see Heart. And everybody would tell me, don't waste your money. I was like, what? Oh, I can't believe it. And they were like, no, they're terrible live. And then finally, after the 90s, and they skyrocketed. Yeah, Silent Lucidity. Thank you, Muscle. It's one of my favorite songs, too. I love that song. Just some groups are better with an engineer behind them than they are live. And it wasn't Ann and Nancy Wilson that was the problem with Heart in the beginning. It was the road crew that they had. So they sounded amateur, and it was the dude at the board, the engineer. I didn't know that kind of stuff until I went to the university where I went to school to get my master's in creative writing. Is a school for entertainment. They specialize in the music and film industry. It's full sail, like sailboat, Full Sail University. And they crank out animators and script writers and music producers, musicians, screenwriters, script writers, all that stuff. And they do bachelor's and master's degrees. But I already had a bachelor's, so I had to do a master's, even though my bachelor's is in computers. It's not in creative writing at all. Although I guess you could say writing programming languages are kind of creative. They are definitely a whole nother language. And I always thought I was kind of a linguistic. I can pick up like Spanish, but I've heard Spanish my whole life. I'm from Arizona. So I pick it up very quickly. Spanish anyway, including the cuss words. I know a few. I used to have an assistant that, she taught me a lot. Anyway, I wanted to recommend a book to you guys. It's a really short, small, short book. Starts with the YouTube video from Carnegie Mellon University. Now, you may have heard of it. It's a national bestseller, but it's from like 1990 something. Oops, if you look at the copyright. Look at the first page, you silly girl. 2008. It's called The Last Lecture. And it's written by a college professor who was given a terminal diagnosis of cancer. And this is his last lecture to his students and the rest of academia, as well as his family. This is a book. The video alone is life-changing. I will put the link in the description. It's about an hour long, right around 45 minutes an hour. But it's a life-changing interview. It's about your hopes and dreams as a child and what you do as an adult, because you're still trying to attain those hopes and dreams. And he's no longer with us. But his words are incredible, and they will always be with us. This was required reading. The reason I brought it up is because it was required reading in my college class for my master's. And there's two other books I want to recommend to you. I don't have copies of them because they're digital. I have them on digital. One is called Mastery, and it's about what it means to be a master of your craft, what it means to be a master, be an Einstein, and be a Michelangelo, be a Stephen King, be J.K. Rowling. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of authors. It's a really good book. It helps you to start to look at yourself as, we all have those things that we are really good at. Yeah, you're like me. I've got I'm about 230 on here on YouTube. And I've got 300 and some on Instagram. And I haven't been doing Instagram very long. I have people join my Instagram, almost a new person every day on Instagram. So it's constantly growing. YouTube's harder, but that's okay. I'm not in any hurry. Besides that, YouTube's got all their, so does Instagram. And if you get to the point where you can monetize on YouTube, if you choose to monetize on YouTube, YouTube keeps 45% right off the top. That's a, I'm not agreeing to be a 50-50 partner with somebody who doesn't do anything except provide the background. Thanks. That's like being a 50-50 partner with the electric company because you need to turn a damn light on. No, you just used the little bit of electricity you use for the freaking light. Although, maybe being a partner to the electric company would be kind of cool if you could rake in the profits they do. Sorry. Here they're pushing solar. They got all these, get $2,500 off on your taxes if you get solar. No out-of-pocket expenses, plus $2,500 off on your taxes. No out-of-pocket expense, but you get a Tesla wall and these brand new upgraded solar panels. And it's some new program, but hurry up because it's going to run out. Okay, I used to be a salesman. Number one thing you're taught as a salesman is create a sense of urgency. Everything you sell, that's the last one you have. Number one, if you're a salesman, you're a liar. Sorry, if you're an honest salesman, you're a rare breed. I'll just put it that way. So it's not too surprising that our whole world has become all the advertising coming at us every which direction. And it's like the movie Total Recall. Oh my God, what would we do if it's like holograms in the sky and shit advertising? You can't turn that off. Are we going to let our world become that? Like we were talking about the consumer, consume. And in the United States, it's not just consume. It's consume it as fast as you can. Because if it's something you consume slowly, it's boring. But that's not all our fault. Katie, my friend Kelly said she was watching your show, but couldn't chat because of, because of some setting. I'm not sure if you're aware that not everybody can chat in your stream. I am aware. I actually have it set for today. You subscribe to me for 10 minutes and you can chat, but only subscribers can do in the chat. It's a setting to keep out trolls. Now, I do have a new live stream, asshole, tomorrow that is open. It won't have any of those kind of settings on it. So I will definitely be needing my moderators tomorrow, but it's also only an hour long. But yeah, if she, subscribes, she only has to subscribe for 5 minutes. Today, I think I had it for 10 minutes. Usually I have it set for a week or a day because I put out those reminders. So I try to put the reminder out that I'm going to go live a day or two ahead of time. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe and been subscribed for a day, and then you can do the questions and all of that. But thank you for telling me. But that's why I have it set that way on purpose, actually. And that is a YouTube setting. When you go in there, you can have it set to anyone or subscriber. And then under subscriber, you can set it to any amount of time you want. I think the minimum is 5 minutes. So it can be from 5 minutes to a year if you want it to be a year. It's kind of cool. YouTube finally did some things to kind of protect the creator. There for a while, see, in the tarot community, especially, just in the tarot community, period. You read tarot cards, you get some pretty nasty trolls that are, you're going to go to hell and all that kind of stuff. So even though what I read in my cards is very, has nothing to do with telling you bad, horrible things and to do scary, awful things. And it's totally the opposite. Completely the opposite. It's just a tool. Of course, someone would say a Ouija board is just a tool. Yeah, it's just a tool for a tool. Sorry. It's just a tool to get your butt in trouble because you don't have controls there. Where reading cards, I cover myself. I burn candles. I incense that cleans and clears the room. I'm set with protection to keep those bad, evil influences out. So, here's something Moss, you like this. You know, I was growing that plant for Harley Grower, that was a cross between the photo and the auto. Guess what we ended up with, dude? We ended up with the worst thing out of all. At 4 weeks, this is what we got. Can you see them? You see those little flower buds? We ended up with a photo, we ended up with an auto, male auto in bloom. It's like, I'm trying to show you the flowers right there. Some male, mega male. So obviously he got ripped. But look at this. There's not much of a taproot on that sucker. I was kind of surprised. That's not hardly broken off. That's not a very big taproot. So I'm thinking I need to do different pellet because apparently it's having a hard time going through the fabric on this. Actually, on my pregnant hooker plant that's blooming like crazy, man, that thing is going to be gas. It's going to be so good. I just planted it from that seed sprouted so quick. My soak, soak it overnight, and then I usually put it in paper towel or something that's wet till it sprouts. And the soak, it sprouted in 24 hours. So I just put it directly in my 7-gallon pot. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. So this whole pregnant hooker one has been a complete experiment too, because I started it that way. Then I got the mice in there making their little tunnels. Well, I think that helped the plant because it aerated where all those roots could grow in those tunnels, because I don't have the mice in the plant itself now. And they pooped and peed in there. So there's fertilizer. I don't think the mice really hurt it any. It did not stretch. But because of the kind of mice I had, they come out only at night because they live underground. So they're very nocturnal mice. So I thought, well, keep the light on. So everybody was talking to 24/7, try growing 24/7. It's supposed to be this. Do it, don't do it. It depends on what side of the fence you're on. So I thought, well, hell, let's see. It's only a silly plant. Okay? Doesn't work. Just like a male plant. Start all over again. It's okay. It's all a part of being a gardener anyway. You have that in anything you grow, especially from seeds. So, yeah. So all through veg, just 24/7. The light never went off. Now I'm doing 12/12, but 12 on, 12 off. You had chipmunk stick burrows, yeah, and stuff all around my plants and all the ground outside last year, and it didn't hurt anything. No, it aerates the soil. Moles they're a different story because moles eat the roots. That's why their burrow is to eat the roots and the bugs of plants. But chipmunks and mice, they're just looking for a house. They'd rather do grain. So, yeah. And then the universe, I was like, what am I going to do with this mice? I'm getting tired of this. We have hantavirus here, so carrying them outside to release them all the time is kind of dangerous for me. Believe me, I do that, and then before I do anything else, I scrub my hands really hard because hantavirus is deadly. And oh, I prefer that too. I want regular seeds. More often than not, depending on the seed source, a lot of times I have found that feminized seeds have come from a hermed plant and their genetics suck. And my grow room is, I can't quite keep the controls you can in a tent. So, I've got all the light leaks. That's no problem. It's like, can't see my nose. Only way I can see my hand in front of my face is if I touch my nose. It's so dark in there. However, temperature fluctuations is another story. Well, I have a heater in there for wintertime. That's no problem. But summertime, I have an air conditioner. Air conditioners turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. So the month of June, when it's 110, 115, 120 here, I can't grow. I can't grow in the grow room. It's either too hot or too cold. It'll herm like that. And I can't do anything about it. Except buy a tent and all that stuff all over again. And I don't have the money to do that. So I just don't grow the hottest month of the year. It's okay. I have 3 seasons living in Arizona. And for the most part, especially if I grow something like this pregnant hooker, it's not a long, it doesn't need a long run. 8 weeks. Wait, Stoney. Yeah. 8 weeks veg, 9 weeks flower. It doesn't make really fat, chunky buds. It makes globe buds. Oh, some of the best stuff that I've ever smoked. Though, strong, good stuff. So, yeah. He was telling us yesterday, I don't know if you heard last night. You weren't there last night, Muscle. Stoney was saying how he came up with the name of that, calling it pregnant hooker. Because he was mad because the plant got pollinated and he didn't intend it to get pollinated. So, oh, hell, I'll just stick some of the seeds in the ground to see what they do. Well, they grew really leggy, really ugly in veg. He was like, oh my God, what are these things going to be like? I don't want to grow this. And then, oh, hell, flip it into flower. He flipped it into flower and they went nuts. Little buds everywhere. There's a joint of anything, a leaf, a branch, builds these little buds, and then they'll build the branch, and then that'll build more. That thing is heavy. I have one stalk of buds that's that tall, stacking to the top. They're little right now. They're about that big around. I'm not complaining. They're frosty as hell. And let me tell you, skunky. I had a medical strain once called 2048-46, and it had an 8-week veg in a 16-week flower. Yeah, I hear like Panama Red is one that Harley was telling me. The problem with growing OG Panama Red is that the flower cycle is so long. For him, like you up there in the north where it's cold, that's kind of hard to do. Where I'm thinking to myself, Because his Amazon strains, seeds that he has, I love growing those. They're fun to grow. They love it here. They like the high temperature and they like the humidity. So, my monsoon season, I've got some of his seeds that I'm gonna grow Jack's Dog and chocolate hazelnut. They're both from Harley that I'm gonna grow this summer during monsoon. Because they're both Amazon crosses, so they will both do really well here during monsoon season. See, the rest of the year here is very, 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 very dry. I think the other day it wasn't even 9% humidity, like yesterday or the day before. But during monsoon season, when we get our rains, we get the thunderstorms all summer, all from June. Well, June, our official monsoon season starts the 15th of June and ends the end of September. Usually the rains start, depends on if we get 115 or higher, the end of June, then that'll bring in the change in the air currents. And it'll bring in the tropical moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, from the East Coast, or from the East. And we get a lot of rain. And it'll, like, in an hour, 3 inches, and it's gone. So then it's washing off. So yeah. A lot, yeah, and then it makes sense because they have a very long time because they're not in a rush. Their growth season is, they don't have a growth season. Their growth season, if I try to think of the plant and what it would be doing in the wild outside, and that's what I try to duplicate in my grow. And so if you think about these tropical strains, Amazon comes from the Amazon forest, rainforest. Panama Red comes from the Panama region, which is rainforest. That is all equator. They don't have a season. It's all, they have a wet season and a dry season, and that's all they have. It's illegal for me to grow outside. I can't. It's only been legal to grow here for a year, when the election in 2022, or 2020 is when we became legal to grow. And the number one requirement is it has to be out of the sight of public and behind locked doors. So no growing outside unless you live farther away than 25 miles as the crow flies from a dispensary. I live in the city. I can walk to a dispensary. And the dispensary that I use here in the city delivers. So, yeah, when I have to use it, once in a while, you want, it's kind of fun to get something from the dispensary every once in a while. I would love to grow outside, but I can't. I'm in Tucson. We've got a couple million people here. The other thing that I would be afraid of growing outside here too is the plants walking away. You know what I mean? Number one, the soil here sucks. So you pretty much have to do raised beds or pots. Pretty easy to steal them in the middle of the night. So it's just, as a woman who lives alone, it's inviting trouble. Actually invite enough trouble just talking about what I'm doing in my ensuite bathroom. Yeah, they do have really long days. It's the day and night is equal. That's why it's called the equator. Their day and night is always equal. The temperature's pretty equal. I have a friend that used to a late friend, she's no longer with us, used to own a tattoo shop in Playa Jaco, Costa Rica. And she lived in Costa Rica 9 months out of the year. And then she would come up here for October, well, the last of September, October, through Thanksgiving. And usually Thanksgiving night or the day after Thanksgiving, she'd head back home because that was the rainy season. And she'd go back and go back to Costa Rica. Yeah, I have an issue too with a neighbor. I gotta, you know, you hear on TV about the quote unquote Karens. Yeah, I got a neighbor that if I sneeze crooked, she's screaming and yelling at me about it. And she's looking for a reason to sue me and do all kinds of stuff. So, and she's my direct next door neighbor. Actually, just on the other side of this wall right here. Well, we got property in between, but I mean, her dog run where her dogs are, she intentionally put it over here to try to get me to sell and leave. And it's like, you know, you're stupid because you do shit like that. I can't sell. People don't want to buy it. Good thing I don't want to sell and leave, huh? Because her dog run would be a deterrent for someone buying the house. She's got 2 American bulldogs and 3 chihuahuas. It's not like those aren't known for barking any. I don't have any problems with dogs. I listen to them. They don't bother me. It's fine. However, I go outside and she's out there with them. She's like pointing at me. I watch her. She'll point at me. And the dog, the American Bulldog, one of them will come running over the fence, barking at me. And she goes, "Good alert. Good boy. Good alert." She doesn't realize that what she's doing is she's training the dog that I don't belong. She's training her damn dog to attack me and she doesn't know it. Maybe she does know it. All I know is that dog gets out of her yard and even acts aggressive to me in the slightest bit in my yard. She's been looking for a reason to sue me. I hope I give her a reason because the countersuit will wipe her out. I have a long list of stuff. And I get along fine with, I am not an obnoxious person. I don't have wild parties and I don't even have people over for dinner. I don't listen to my stereo loud with the windows open. I have a home entertainment center. You know, I have a Bose home entertainment center. That is the only time you even know I live here when you see me outside. Is because if I'm watching a movie, you damn rights I'm going to use that Bose system and I'm going to turn the damn thing up. And every time it's something that's got an explosion or something, it makes my windows rattle. But that's the only time you know I'm even here. I've had neighbors ask me if I was a ghost. And she goes around telling the neighbors how awful I am because I have 2 dead trees that she thinks are ugly and need to be cut down. And, you know, I'm a pot smoker and it's legal here. What are you going to do about that, hon? I do it legally with a doctor's prescription from 3 separate doctors. Take me to court. See where you get. You're not going to get anywhere. Except broke for paying your attorney. And mine. Because you don't win, you're going to be paying my attorney. Sorry. So, yeah. So, it's just, I lay low. I stay quiet. I grow good weed. Really good weed. And she just thinks, and I do a YouTube channel. She can't manage Facebook. Hey, Spliffy, good to see ya. Yeah, she can't even do Facebook. So, hey, I got it. I'm doing YouTube. I'm reading tarot cards. I'm one of those wacky tarot card readers on YouTube. Oh, hey, we're coming up right at the 2-hour point. And I got a new live stream starting on Thursday nights now from 5 to 6 Pacific. Should be very interesting. Tomorrow, my guest is Sherry H., Voices from the Swamp. She is from Louisiana. We're going to have a good time, having fun. She's definitely all of that. Mardi Gras attitude. She's a lot of fun. Yeah. So yeah, tomorrow, every Thursday from now on, we have the new show called the Lightworkers Roundtable. We'll have a new guest every week. Maybe more than one guest. Just depends. Like I said, it just depends on what people's schedules are and when they can do it. I'm really excited about it. It's like I said, I really have to give Debbie Freebird Spirit, Manasa, and Lily Benu credit for the inspiration, because they finally hit me in the head with what they were telling me this week over the weekend, that I don't know, it cleared something out so that I could hear what Spirit's been trying to tell me all along about my live streams and what my live streams are supposed to be about. This one is a free form, let's just have a good time live stream. Yeah, I made the restrictions less. Prepared for trolls. Hell, I'm a moderator. I can handle moderating my own channel. Besides that, I got a lot of moderators in here too. So, and I can do like Stony Baker does, and just make everybody a mod. Oh, if you subscribe, you're a mod. And especially if you've got a YouTube channel, you're a mod. Sharon Sipes, one of my mods. Most definitely. Yeah, Sharon, I think you mod for everybody. What I want to know is, how do you find enough time in the day? That's the one. No, it's you. You're the one that's in everybody. You're everywhere. I love that. You know? And you do a really good job too, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. We have some real fun when you're doing political readings. We get some real fun Russian bots sometimes, don't we, Sharon? For those of you from the growers community, yeah, tarot, the political tarot readers get mega trolls. I was in a small community before. I mean, we were happy if, I think somebody had 5,000, and he was like the star of the community, and he had 5,000 subscribers. I started moderating for this community. It's a whole nother story. Because like Linda G's got 50,000 subscribers. That's incredible. And I can remember when she first started. I've been watching her since she started. Her, Tarot's Apprentice. Actually, who did I start with? Linda G. Comanche Psychic, as she says. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot, Australia. Lena Rodriguez, Tarot Down Under, and David Johnson. Moonride. Those were when back in 2016. Those were the 4 people. And then it started growing from there because Linda G recommended Jen Lynn. And I think I stumbled on Johnny accidentally. And I know I stumbled on Autumn, Black and Orange. I stumbled on her by accident. I think it was only like her second or third live stream. And I loved it because she did her layered Celtic, her big Celtic was fantastic. So many cards and you know, these people were just except for Jen Lynn. Jen Lynn showed her face and stuff, but like Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice and Autumn from Black and Orange, they were just hands, talking hands. Kind of like me. I started out that way too, but with videos. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to show my face at all. But then it's kind of hard to do live streams, and I want to be as authentic as possible. And how can you be accessible? My whole thing of doing this is for you guys and to be accessible to you guys. So how can I be accessible to you guys if I'm hiding my face? So it was just silly fears from experiences I had before. So I was not in a safe community before, and I was attracted to it, I think, because it wasn't safe. It wasn't my normal. It was an adventure, and it was a learning experience that was tough to go through. Kind of raked me over the coals, but I can give anybody advice on how to do YouTube and how not to do YouTube. And I can tell you, if you're going to do YouTube and you're going to do StreamYard and you want people to come on and you want to have a panel, you make sure you choose who your panel's going to be. You get their email addresses and you send them a direct link. You never post a link in your chat so that anybody can click on it and show up in your panel. That's how you get trolls exposing themselves and shit on your live stream when you're a girl. Hey, they do it to guys too. Just saying. So, yeah, there's a lot more to it than just pushing that go live. And I think as you get involved, you find out. Because YouTube will tell you, oh, yeah, all you need is a cell phone. But if you really want to get anywhere, you're going to start needing different equipment. It doesn't have to be expensive equipment. Shoot, I already use my laptop. That's my camera. This is my laptop. But my lighting, I have a ring light, obviously. I finally got wise. The ring is pointed up now. So only reflection in my glasses now is the white background on StreamYard on my computer screen. But I also have a clamp that holds a tablet and it holds my cell phone. So that's what I use to record my card pull videos with, is my cell phone. And that clamp, and I have a microphone. It wasn't expensive. It was like 21 bucks, $22. It was under 25, we'll put it that way. Same with the ring light. And it's on a tripod. And it will hold 2 cell phones or a cell phone and a tablet. It has 2. One thing is inside the ring And that one will hold a tablet or a cell phone. And the one below is strictly for a cell phone. So, or GoPro. And it was like, I think it was $20. The clamp is really cool. I used it. Did I have that last summer? I fell and broke a couple ribs on the 3rd of July last summer. I was stepped where my cat threw up. I was like stepping. Yeah, I was like stepping in a puddle of oil. Whoosh, down I went. Landed on my side right at the just above the base of my ribs on the corner. It's still sore when I rub it too. So it's not completely totally healed. And that's the 4th. That was the 3rd of July. I hit the corner of a side table and landed full force on the corner of a side table. Knocked the wind out of me. I know you don't show your whole face, but you got really cool masks, dude. Now, if I had masks, that would be a different story. I suppose I could make some. Got all the stuff I need, except if I want to make leather masks, I'd have to get some leather, but I could do that too. It's just me. I'm authentic. I could be the masked tarot reader. Ooh, I could do a second channel as the masked tarot reader. I could do that and just put a paper bag over my head. Kind of like the masked singer. Huh. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's funny. No, I make masks, but the kind of masks I make are kind of delicate and intricate and have a tendency to only last a couple of hours at a time. Because they're the lacy, like for masquerade ball, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Hell yeah, they're better than ski masks. Yeah, I was watching somebody, who was it today? Oh, I decided to show my face. And it was like, had on a helmet, like motorcycle or BMX helmet. I mean, full coverage helmet. And then motorcycle ski mask, motorcycle goggles. And then the pull-up mask from around his neck. I was like, all you saw was this. I'm showing my face. All you could see was his nose. I was like, oh, yay. I'm laughing my ass off. That's good. I was on Instagram. Like, I'm decided to show my face today. I did that. I went, where was I? I had to go to the print shop over here at the shopping center. I had this cap on, my sunglasses, which were aviators at the time. Like this kind of cockeyed. I don't know why I do that, but anyway, it's because everything in this thing is backwards. And then I had on a leopard mask, right? Leopard print mask. I posted it on Instagram. I was like, hi everybody, I finally got to go out and about. And this guy comes on to me, oh, you're beautiful. I think you're the love of my life. I'm like, what? My eyes? Well, you have beautiful eyes. I'm like, dude, you can't even see my face. I bust, and it was like, see ya, bub. And he was gone. It was like, you're out of here. The most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I cracked up. It was like, okie dokie. Yeah, so people are funny. It's fun. Anyway, I need to go eat something. Have Buds and Hazard's favorite meal. I added some extra stuff to it. He's Mr. Macaroni and Cheese. I added a can of tomato sauce and a can of pinto beans because I was out of meat and I was hungry for protein, but I didn't really want macaroni and cheese just macaroni and cheese, you know. So I added some cayenne pepper and onions, salsa, and so I have spicy macaroni beans. It's good. It's good. Got my fiber, got my protein. If you listen to that stupid doctor on YouTube that does the ads, Dr. Gundry, for leaky gut syndrome, he drives me crazy. He'll tell you, don't eat beans. Don't eat legumes. They have lectin in them, and lectin supposedly rips your guts up, causes leaky gut syndrome. There's whole civilizations that survive on legumes as a staple. I mean, India, they live on lentils, and that kind of Indian food is full of legumes. Mexicans, the Mexican food, my goodness, beans, they frijoles all over the place. Frijoles refritos, folks, refried beans. So, yeah. If you stopped eating everything that they told you was bad for you, what will we have left to eat? Not a whole lot. Because I think it all depends on who you talk to as to what they say it's bad for you. There's that Stony Baker. I was just talking about you, dude. Just talking about you. Showing Moss. Moss and Sharon and Spliffy. Spliffy didn't see this. Spliffy wasn't in here. My, ouch. Candle down there, Katie, for your hand. Isn't that a cute little plant I pulled up there, Stony? Yeah, that was my purple anaconda. I shoved it in a plastic bag and forgot about it. Didn't quite make it outside. And yeah, I put it in a plastic bag, right? So that it wouldn't pollinate anything by accident, since it's a damned auto. Because that day, let me tell you, that day that those flowers popped out on that plant, earlier that morning I'd sent Harley a picture. Those weren't there. I had bent it over to soft train, and I was like, look, we're at the point where we're soft training. He was like, oh, this is doing good, but it's growing awful aggressive. 2 hours later, I'm like, dude, look what I just found. I mean, it literally, they all popped out all at once. He was like, oh, that's the worst outcome ever. Why? It's like, bummer. Male auto in flower. I have people say, that's not good for you, as they drink their case of pop a day. No shit. I don't drink sodas. We were just talking about that earlier. Someone was saying that they enjoyed their Coke, and I was that they enjoyed their Coca-Cola, and I was like, oh, I don't drink Coke because they're in Georgia. They're, their main headquarters is in Georgia, and I don't like the voting shit that went on in Georgia. So I don't support companies that are headquartered in Georgia. I boycott them. So that's all the soda companies pretty much. And then I went, oh, hell, Katie, you don't drink sodas at all. Anyway, sodas are gross. They put you to sleep. Well, you know why, Stony? Because the sugar in them shoots your blood sugar really high, and then that wears off and you crash. And it makes you sleepy. Believe me, I've used that to sleep at night when I had insomnia. I'm a diabetic. And that's exactly what it's doing. So, well, I'm a borderline diabetic now. No longer. I used to do the insulin shots in my tummy, boob. Boob? Yeah, in my tummy. You know why they have you do that in your tummy or up in your thigh? Because you don't have very many nerve endings there. Doesn't hurt at all. Not at all. And the needle is like, so it's like a human hair. Your hypoglycemia. I know. We talk about that. You and Nikki. Nikki's just skinny. Nikki just needs to put a little fat on her bones, but she can't do that and model. I get it. I get it. But she also needs to know that she better keep peanuts or something that will give her energy that is not quick energy, like a snack that's, I don't know, candy bar or something like that. That's empty energy. And that will do exactly this, what you're talking about there. Is your blood sugar goes way up and then your blood sugar bottoms out and it makes you sleepy. Yeah, I like my Nikki too. She's a sweetheart. I like my Nikki and Harley together. They're good together. And they know I know. I've told them that many times. So, yeah. You start to learn when you better eat or you're going to have a problem. Me, I'd start to get kind of lightheaded every time I'd stand up. And I used to also take high blood pressure medicine because I was a fat girl. Or go figure. What's the most common thing among majorly obese people? High blood pressure and diabetes. Why is it there's majorly over people in the past didn't have those two issues? I have my theory on that. It's kind of conspiracy sounding. We didn't have big pharma back then like we have now. I rest my case. You know, most people who take high blood pressure medication, when they go in, they still get heart damage. Because you still have high blood pressure. It may not be actually active, but as that level of the medicine fluctuates in your body, it's hard on your heart. Unless you got a pump. And if you got it so bad, you got to have a pump. You probably need a heart transplant. Yeah, you get cold and then you sweat. I get dizzy. I get lightheaded. Like, you stand up, whoops, sit back down. And then I know, ooh, you better go get some. And I'll go grab a spoonful of sugar and shove it in my mouth. And it's immediate, and then it goes away. But that doesn't happen very often anymore. It helped to lose 90 pounds. But yeah, when I was on insulin, that would happen. And I think it's because I was on insulin. I know you're always lying. Well, there's a lot of people out there that say I'm dingy. A little dingy. Oh, that's silly. Yeah. Nothing wrong with being lightheaded. I have streaks of it. See, right here. Light hair. Oh, that's redheaded, right? Lightheaded would mean you have light colored hair. And you do. Well, you got a light colored scalp, but that hair, that hair here is light. Your beard's light colored. Oh dear. Yes. Well, we're almost 2.5 hours now, dude. You miss coffee? Really? Is there a reason why you don't drink it? I don't drink it every day, but like this morning, I had to have my cup of coffee. It was cold. You miss hair? No, you know what? Hair. I've been both. I've been bald and I've had hair. I liked it when I didn't have any hair. God, it was easy. It was wonderful. And now I got this. I mean, it's halfway down my back now. Ah, your stomach's bad. I get you. I get you. Um, I started making that kefir water. You know, I give it to my plants. It's microbes for your stomach. It's yeah. Spliffy has a nice head. I kept telling him that the day he came that he had his surgery. I was like, dude, don't grow your hair back. You look good bald. Oh no, I don't want to look like a peel. I want to look like an onion. I was like, dude, you don't look like an onion. It looks really good on you. But anyway, hey, but I'm bald men are sexy. So hey, what can I say? You know, you had that one guy in your channel that one night that was going on and on about no woman wants to date him. He was showing his bald head and all that. And I was like, don't you know, dude? It's supposed to be good luck to kiss a bald man on the head. And he was all, I don't take no token kisses from no bitch nowhere. I was like, whoa, dude. So my response back, I don't think you saw that. You were like, Katie. I was like, what are you, a fucking incel? I don't know any guy who a woman puts her mouth on him. I don't know any guy who's going to turn that away unless they're just not into girls. You remember that? Remember? Why are you, a fucking incel? And then I was gone. It was like, fuck this shit. I don't need to go in with this guy. I'm paying the guy a compliment. And he was like, oh. He's no longer in your chat. I noticed you kicked him out too. He not that night, a couple times after that, but yeah, only because every time he came in, he was talking and bad mouthing about somebody else that he had just come from their live stream and didn't like how they treated him. Incel. I don't deal well with chronic victimhood. Our choices, babe. Only thing that I consider to be a complete and total victim are animals and children. Adults, nope. You made a choice that put you in that situation. What can I say? And I'm not judging you on the choice you made. I'm just saying you made a choice that put you in that situation where the whatever could happen to you. This is like a woman that walks home after dark. Don't do it. Don't do it. Odds of something happened to you are pretty high. But I've been single more than I've been with someone, so I just automatically my radar's out there. But I'm blessed that I have added abilities that other women don't. They have it, they just don't know it. I can read a person's energy a block away and I will cross the street. I'm serious. I can be walking, we be on the same sidewalk and they'll be at one end of the block and I'm at the other end of the block and they're walking towards me. I'll jaywalk and cross the street to get to the other side of the street if I don't like their energy. I remember some chick saying, we like Michigan. We don't mess around, Katie. Katie says, that's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. We like Michigan. We don't mess around. Is that a good thing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember who it was. I know he was in there as another name, but I know who he ended up being. It was Lizard King, dude. Yeah, you got pissed off at him one night and kicked him out, and I was like, yay! Finally. It's funny. Yeah. It was Lizard King. All he ever did was bitch, and all he was ever doing was showing off how he was either smoking or pressing, or he's like in there just to show off in there. It was like, okay. And he would dominate the chat. And all the rest of us are just kind of kicking back going, seriously, dude? Really, dude? Seriously, dude? Really, dude? And pretty soon you were like, stop. And he wouldn't stop. So you went, bye-bye. And you don't do that very often. Well, we usually have a reason. Yeah, a lot of show-offs. Yeah, you give them an opportunity. If they don't have a channel, and they want to have a channel, or they think they can do the channel better than you, and you get them an opportunity to get on your panel on StreamYard or Google Meets or whatever in here, Zoom. Yeah. That's why I never, ever, ever put, you're welcome to come in and be on my chat with me anytime, Tony. Anytime. You can be, on my StreamYard anytime you want. But I will send you the link personally through Instagram. I will never post the link for someone to click on in the chat. That's how you get trouble. And I told Tito's not to do that. But she was given advice otherwise. Yeah, he would never speak to you directly. He acted like he couldn't hear you. You'd ask him a point blank question, and he'd talk to somebody. He'd be mouthing off to someone in the chat like me. And he was just doing it just to get he's a spoiled little rich boy who needed the attention, was what I got. Because all the top of the line equipment and shit, come on. It was like, look at me. I got all this stuff and you guys don't. And it's like, dude, you don't know what Harley's got. And you don't know what Stoney's got. You don't know what any of these other growers in here have either, like Lost Art. And yeah, dude, you don't even know where you're at. Motherfucker, shut up. Was basically what I was wanting to say. You don't even know where you're at. You have no idea who you're even talking to in here. Yeah. He's broke too, lives on the street. Really? Interesting, because then it must have been somebody else's his equipment that he was using. And he sure as shit didn't grow the stuff he was pressing. Yeah, he kind of gave me a Slab City feel. As a matter of fact, I was going to ask you if he was a Slab City guy, because he had that attitude. Remember those days? You remember those days in the Goonies? Stoney. Yeah, raising money for the solar system. Remember those days? Remember those con artists? Oh, God. Hey, they taught me so much. It was good. It was good for me. It was bad, but it was good for me. I had someone tell me I didn't know what I was talking about because they grow outside and that's way different than indoor grows. Okay. Yeah, I find a lot of really self-impressed people who are indoor individual growers. I don't like today. I think is the first time I said I grow weed and I grow good weed. That's the first time I've actually really said that because I don't brag about it. I do like to tell you guys and show you guys because I'd like to hear from you guys if you see something I'm doing wrong because I'm learning. And you don't do any good in an indoor grow if you're not trying to duplicate the conditions fucking outside. What the hell? Yeah. The people that don't know shit. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Stony. No, I don't try to say, well, you guys got to use my tea. And if you ask me what I'm doing, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Otherwise, it's my process. You know, I've taken master gardener classes. I've grown everything from trying to think what's the most exotic thing I've grown here outside in Arizona? Orchids. Okay? Orchids. I'm not new to growing shit. You should see my snapdragons out here just outside the window. Usually snapdragons are what, this tall? They're 4 feet tall. And the flower clusters are huge. They're the kind that florists grow. I mean, they look like that kind. They're just seeds I got from Amazon and I tossed them in a pot. I didn't do anything special with them. I have since like put some of my tea from when my tea goes bad in here and I got to dump it. I'll put it on my plants outside, on my flowers and stuff outside. I have nasturtium leaves this big. I mean, you can roll and you can eat nasturtium leaves, by the way, and they're really nice and peppery. They're great. You can roll goat cheese with chives in them and bake them or steam them. Delicious. And I've got those things growing all over the place. Yeah, Spliffy would know about those because when he was here, he saw them. He was like, "What is that plant?" It's just a stupid spring flower. They don't like the heat and they don't like the cold. So there's just a short window that I have that they'll grow, but damn, they get big leaves. The flowers are like this. So, but that's because the temperature's just right now. It's supposed to be a high of 75, I believe, today. 73, 75. Friday, 90. Saturday, 93. I'm not ready for this. I'm never ready for the heat to come in. So, but we've already been 88 and 89, so we've been really close to 90. It's just that when you live here, it's weird. It's like when you live where it's cold, every degree less is huge to you. 1 below 0, 5 below 0, 10 below 0. It's like, shrivel you up in the cold. Well, it's like that here with each degree with the heat as it comes in. Yeah, Lizard King was his name. Yep. He was Sir something or other the day I got pissed off at him. It was the first time I'd ever seen him on your channel, too. So I kind of thought he was a troll. And I was like, oh, Stony, you put your link in the chat. That's why that dude's up there. Because everybody else was really cool, Ganja. And, trying to think who else. Panda was up there for a while. Oh, everybody was cool. Tito's had someone come in one night. Only time I was there on her panel. And this guy came in and just basically dominated the conversation, wouldn't even acknowledge Tito's and just wanted to talk to me. I was like, dude, you don't come and jump on someone else's channel to come on to another person in the channel. That's fucked. Sorry. He'll dump his name. Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely if you see him around, because I don't. You and Harley are pretty much, as far as live streams go, you guys are pretty much the only ones I watch. I watch all the videos that everybody else puts up, like Piff and Lost Art. I watch all their videos, Keith and Ribbit, Kermit, and Kemet. Yeah. I was just trying to think. I pretty much watch everybody, but I just don't always watch their live streams because I'm promoting my own channel in the community that I'm in. So I'm in their live streams. My guest tomorrow is a moderator. She's like Sharon. She's a moderator on almost every single channel. And she's just starting her YouTube channel. And I want to see her channel explode because she's fun. So that's why I asked her if she'd be on my channel. And she's not computer literate at all. And she works in the computer department at the University of Louisiana, Lafayette. So it's kind of funny. She's a secretary there. She's just a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time tomorrow. But because she's in these chats, she's just, every time she's in there, I saw her yesterday in one chat that was, I think it was a 2-hour one like this one. She posted it like 2-3 times that she was going to be on my channel, and she put in the link. I was like, God bless you. Mwah! Oh, Benny Loco has been on YouTube forever. I think I saw her on one of the, there's a woman that I watch. She doesn't do a whole lot. Water Benedita is her name. And I think I've seen Benny moderating for her. Because she does teacup and tea leaf readings. She's fascinating. We all love our Benny girl. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, that's like Linda G. We have in my Tarot Love community, we have a psychic, Linda G, Comanche psychic. We call her, she's the star of the show. She's the star of the whole community. She's got 50,000 subscribers, dude. And yeah, I'm actually going to have her on one of these days because she loves helping people grow their channels. And that's amazing to have someone with that kind of a following bring their people to your channel. So yeah, I plan on inviting her to this Light Workers Roundtable. That'll be every Thursday too. Yeah, 50,000 subscribers. And she is way cool. God, she's known people like, I'm just trying to think, who was it that she said she's a medium. So she sees dead people, and she sees famous dead people, like Tom Petty. Yeah. When he died, about 6 weeks after he passed away, she was doing a reading and on a video, and he wouldn't leave her alone. So she talked to him. And what he basically said, he was sorry. He didn't expect to die like he did. He had a heart attack. But it's fun to know people like that. And like, yeah, she loves growing channels. Did she break Tom Petty's heart? I don't think so. She was never even a Tom Petty fan. I was thinking there's somebody else. Kenny Loggins. That's who's a friend of hers. I knew there was a old pop rock star that was a friend of hers. Kenny Loggins is a friend of hers. You know, me too. Me too. If I was rich, I'd feel guilty. That's because you and I are service people. You build homes and shit for people. And I help people repair their lives, heal. So that's my whole purpose, is to help someone else. You help other people too, Stony. That's what you do. We have a service heart because we care so deeply for our friends and family. Oh, when I asked for financial stability, you know what I asked for? So that I can have enough to give it away freely. And not have to worry about, my bills being paid and do I have enough to eat. That's all I care. Just, make my expenses, which are very, very low. And if somebody needs money, I want to be able to give it to them, because let me tell you one thing, the more you give, the more you receive. So if you give, I have had this literally happen to me. I had my last $1.99 I donated to a super chat in the community. We're raising money for service dogs for veterans. And I was like, this is my last $1.99, but I so totally believe in this cause. And I donated it. Next day, I found $10 in the pocket of my coat. So I really do believe that what you give comes back tenfold. Because there it was, right there in my proof. Yeah, that's why I preach it so hard. I mean, I end all my live streams and stuff with be kind to one another, but most of all, be kind to yourself. We beat ourselves up so badly. Except for those of us that think they're privileged and want to beat up everybody else because they don't get their way. But that's just because they're immature and privileged and don't know how. But, that's like I worked for years in customer service. Who was I more likely to help? The guy that calls me cussing and screaming at the top of his voice because he's who he is and he demands help? Or the nice guy who's like, God, I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. Can you help me? Who are you more willing to help? Learn from that. Learn from that. How do you treat people? Do you want help? Don't be an asshole. Gave a young homeless girl $6 yesterday, but only felt worse for her. It didn't really help her out at all. You know what else I've done, Stony? For the homeless, I've done that here. I'll go in a restaurant and I'll give them, there'll be someone panhandling near the restaurant. Someone panhandling on a corner. If there's a restaurant or a fast food place that's close, I'll go in to the fast food place and I'll give them $20 or $25. And I will tell them, now I'm going to go get that homeless person out there. You let them spend that whole $20 on food. That way, they have food in their stomach. They're not hungry. Something else I've done for homeless people is I'll make these the bags made with the quart size Ziplocs. I go to the dollar store and I'll buy tube socks, travel soap, travel toothpaste, travel toothbrush, and a thing of deodorant, and a $5 bill. Stuff it in one of those. And we have people here that stand on the street corners trying to sell newspapers and shit. You can't do it in the city because it's really, really dangerous and dumb. So it's against city ordinance, but they do it in the county. And those people will work for food and that stuff. I'll toss them one of those bags. And they open that bag and they're shocked because there's socks and deodorant, all these things that they can't find in a garbage can, stuff they wouldn't buy for them, get for themselves. And they're lucky if they do get into if they're in a shelter, that the shelter might have something like that for them. This is a little random acts of kindness like that that totally changes a person's day. And I got that idea off Facebook, believe it or not, about the socks and stuff. And I put a Snickers bar so that there's a candy bar in there. Quick energy. I always pick Snickers or Payday because of the protein in the peanuts. But that's just, I don't know. I've always thought on those lines. If I see an injured animal, by God, I'm going to do everything I can to heal it, to get it back to life. We have geckos here all over the place, and little baby geckos. Right about when it turns 90, the eggs hatch, and we have little geckos all over the place. They get shut in doorways, and people step on them on sidewalks, and because you don't notice them. They're little guys, little teeny tiny lizards. Well, one summer, I don't know why, I happened to notice every time I'd look down, there'd be a injured lizard. His tail would be smushed off, or he'd have a leg missing or something. So I started collecting them up. Had a little small fish tank for beta. And, I didn't have the fish anymore, so then I put them in there. Well, then my dog's vet was also a reptile vet. So I'm like, dude, I'm getting all these geckos, and I'm trying to, and he's laughing at me. He's like, there's millions of those. You really don't need to do that. Mom, yes, I do. They're injured. They need me. And he's like, okay. And so he'd tell me what I needed to do. He's like, well, the best thing that you can do is go to the pet store and buy pinhead crickets, because they prefer eating little flying bugs like root fungus, the root gnats. Geckos love those. So I have this gecko in my grow room. He's been there for a year now. He's never bothered anything. And he eats the bugs. Till the other day. Was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. Because I did my update yesterday. Yeah, every Tuesday. Sunday, I go in there, and one of my buds, all the little hairs are munched off of the top. Ah! What the hell? I'm like, Katie, that's 1 out of 100 that are on that damn plant. Don't worry about it. What it was. And I'm thinking, mice now. The mice are starting to eat my plant. What am I going to do? Because they will devour it. What am I going to do? Apparently whatever it was didn't like it. Must have gotten really, really stoned or something, because it's never come back. It's never tried it again. So I can think of it had to have been the gecko. Stony. My buddy ate all the goldfish out of an aquarium at a party. Once he stalled out when he ate a betta fish. Did it go and flare out at him? Because I would think that'd choke you. Oh my gosh. You ever hold up a mirror to one of those things and see what they do? Woo! Okay, my friends are as weird as me. Hey, dude, so are mine. I had some. I used to know these two brothers in Brookings, Oregon. One brother was a fisherman. The other one was a logger. Okay, you live up there. You know what loggers and fishermen are like. Okay, they're not known for being calm. People, they have dangerous jobs. So, hey, they live their life full bore. Well, these two guys, two brothers, had a party up in the mountains, and one of them was living in this camp trailer. So he decided, I'm going to have a bonfire. Let's have a big party up of the river. So we go to this party. He giving out dropping quaaludes in people's drinks and shit up there. So it was like, if you had your beer, you kept your hand on the top of it because it was going to get a lewd in it if you didn't. Fishing and logging in Oregon? Yeah. Yeah, logging. My dad hired a guy. He was one of the tree toppers. I would have to probably say that's probably the absolute most dangerous job a person in the Pacific Northwest can have. You know, a guy that's way up high and he cuts the top out of the tree, and then that tree's doing this with him tied to it as it reverberates after losing the top of the tree. Anyway, he had to hire this guy because he had gotten injured on the job, and his family had no money. They were hungry. So his son and him would come and help my dad. My dad was turning our barn into a garage with an apartment up above. And, you know, they came to help my dad out. Well, the young kid helped more than the dad did, because the reason he needed the job was because the chainsaw, when he was topping the tree, he hit a Y cluster knot, and it bounced the chainsaw right back out on him, and it hit him right here. Almost cut his body in half. So it was like 5 years later, and my dad is hiring him to help. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, one was hit by a chunk. Yeah, I've known people that have had their arms and legs ripped off from setting a choker around a log, and that log roll. There's nothing you can do. Nothing. I knew a guy that got killed. He was in the machine, you know, that has the claws that pick up the logs and puts them on the truck. And one of those logs came loose as he picked it up. The one on the top slid, and it came right into the cab. It just killed him instantly. My family are all miners and shit. That's a real dangerous job too, you know. My dad's best friend died from falling in a rock crusher. After working around the rock crusher for over 40 years. 1 second of complacency ended his life. So, yeah. But these two guys, they had this party. We're all up there having a great time. I mean, I got so fucking stoned, and no way I'm not doing quaaludes. Thank you. I was so stoned. I stared at the campfire for 2 hours without moving and didn't even know it. Until I heard gunfire. What the hell? One of the brothers decided he'd had enough of this party and everybody needed to go home. So he was just taking pot shots in the air. Well, you know what happens to bullets when they go up in the air? They don't just go up into nothingness. They got to come back down. Yeah, crazy guys. They got it in for this lady cop. She was people driving. Now, Brookings is on 101. No, it's not. Is it on 101 or Highway 1? It's on 1. Anyway, if you're going to go up the coast, driving up the Oregon coast, you have to drive through downtown Brookings, coming from Crescent City, California, north. And she was giving away tickets for 1 mile over the speed limit downtown. Everybody wanted her out of there. Get her out of here. So the guys, same two brothers, decided they knew what they were going to do. They were going to get her out of here. So they staged a fight at one of the bars down on the harbor. She showed up. When she showed up, there was about five of them, stripped her and handcuffed her to her cop car and left her in the parking lot. She quit. She wasn't there the next day. Yeah, they ended the 1 mile over the speed limit issue. Crazy guys, same bar. That cigarette machine didn't give the guy give the logger dude didn't give him any cigarettes and didn't give him any change. So he went out in his truck and got that giant chainsaw and just cut the fucking machine in two. Hey, you guys want some money? Here, free cigarettes. Crazy people. Yeah, I've known a few weirdos in my time. Yeah, bikers. I've known a couple devil's disciples. Actually, I've known several devil's disciples. Never felt safer in my life, I'll be honest with you. When you have friends that are members of a bike club like that, people leave you alone. And I was misrespectable. But also, I knew that if anybody hurt me, they wouldn't live very long. So this one guy, his wife was my boss. So that's how I got to know them. She was cook in the hospital that I was dishwasher at. Yes, I was a dishwasher in a hospital for 2 years. You finally send it. Hey, you got some more MSM, huh? I heard you yesterday with your MSM and what you were going to do with the MSM jar. What, Moss? Yeah, I ain't lying about that. 81? Is that your temperature? It's warm. It's going to be nice. I don't know what. Let's see what it is right now here. I don't care about the ads. Thank you. 73 is all it is. 9% humidity. The dew point is 11 degrees. The wind is west-northwest. It's 7 miles per hour. And our sunset is at 6:37 p.m. And I'm on Pacific time now. So I'm in the same time as you, Stoney. You guys did your time zone. You did your time switch, and I did my time zone change. Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and it's really interesting because a lot of women would be terrified to be in a group, to be in a room with a bunch of bikers, and I never felt more safe in my life. But the two guys that were my friends were also 2 guys in the club that you didn't fuck with in the club either. So I know a guy I used to work with a guy here in Tucson. I was a leasing agent and he was a maintenance man. My was soon to become husband was his maintenance supervisor. The guy murdered his own mother. So, and they never caught him. Yeah. That's why I think this life that I've chosen here with this card reading and the tarot and then my family all thinks is such an evil life. Man, it's wonderful compared to what I've been through. It really is. The love is amazing. My YouTube friends are people I'll have for the rest of my life. Yeah, I can honestly say I have some definite lifetime friends here that I met through YouTube. And I haven't met them face to face. I don't need to meet them face to face. Really. Some of you like Stoney, how long have I known you now? 4 years? 4 years? Something like that. I mean, I started talking to you when you were the Mad Dabber. So, yeah, why do people change their names? Tony Baker, MD, Mad Dabber. It's okay. I've always been Katie Moonchild. I just added world onto it. Apostrophe S with world. And I was Crafty Katie Ladybug with my arts and crafts channel that I did the diamond painting with. So, wow, 3 hours, Katie. Hey, Stony, you and we did this last week. You came in towards the end, and we, well, I go through phases with my dad. With my dabs. Just depends on how generous Mr. Harley is. He just loaded me up this time. Wowie. You're not creative enough to keep changing names. Well, you know what? Stay with the name you've got. I like your name. I like it. I'm actually getting ready to do a Katie Moonchild website, but I haven't really figured out the full domain. Whether I'm going to put Katie Moonchild's World or just Katie Moonchild. I think katiemoonchild.com, because then I can put my art on there. I can put my writing on there, and I can put my tarot stuff. So, I mean, like, I'm designing and making my own tarot cards here. This is my practice deck. I was just showing everybody earlier what they look like. That's why you guys haven't seen me a lot. I'm trying to write and do creative things and figure out a way to bring in some passive income. I have to be limited on it, though, because I'm on Social Security, disability, and Medicare. Next year, I get to switch from Social Security disability to Social Security retirement. And then it's a different story, but I have to be careful. I don't want to lose my Social Security disability, because I truly and really cannot work an 8-hour job. So I cannot work 2 days in a row. If I work full 8 hours one day, I'm in bed the next. It's fibromyalgia. Fucking sucks. Chronic pain illness, and everybody goes, well, fibromyalgia is all, pain. No, pain is one part of it. One part of it. You have, you can have respiratory issues. You can have circulatory issues. I have stomach issues from it. I have kidney issues from it. I also have kidney issues from chemotherapy, but that's a whole nother ball of wax. My kidneys, I had renal failure, kidney failure, because of a anti-spasm medication that I was on for fibromyalgia. I almost died. So I'm real picky now what I take that the doctor prescribes. If I can find a natural substance that will do the same thing, sorry, pharma, you're going to lose every time. I don't trust them. On our food, we have listed everything that's in our food, and there's all that shit chemical stuff. You don't know what that is? Can you just stop and think about it? When you hear commercials for pharmaceutical drugs, no matter what they are anymore, it's if you have a tendency for immune problems, if you have heart issues, talk to your doctor or pharmacist. Yeah, because that shit can kill you. It's supposed to be making you better. No, it's treating a symptom. It's not making you better. I heard out of the words of the mouth of the CEO of Pharma say. He was asked by a Congress, this was when Obama was president, he was asked by Congress if he ever saw them coming up with a cure for cancer. You know what his response was? No, there is no profit margin in cures. And then just shortly after that, the EpiPen went from $50 to $500 a piece. People with severe allergies die when they can't have that EpiPen. $50 is ridiculous for that EpiPen. There might be $2.50 worth of chemicals in this shit. It's mostly water. I have a science and medical background. Before when I was going to college and being the party girl, my father wanted me to go into medical school. Actually, I was going to become a psychiatrist, going to be a medical doctor. And I was told I wasn't aggressive enough to make it through medical school. I was like, I don't want to be a surgeon. They're the ones that got to be aggressive because that's highly competitive. Yeah. It's like everything else. It's big business. And it's just finally hit me, this thing, every time I mention to somebody, you know, the rich rule the world, the rich are running this country. It's a capitalist country, Katie. This is what I get told. Okay. Then as far as I can see, as long as capitalism is based on slavery or unsurvivable wages, that's slavery. It will always fail. So do we really want an economic system that's based on that? The country's been built on it. Has it been really good for everybody or just really good for a few? A friend of my dad died that way, yeah. Bee sting. Ran for the pen and it pumped through her body before she got to her vehicle. Yes. Oh, and if you run, that makes your heart beat faster, which is going to make, yeah, she panicked. She panicked. More people die of rattlesnake bites trying to get away from the rattlesnake. Let me tell you, a rattlesnake don't want to bite you. You get bit by a rattlesnake, it's usually your own stupidity that caused it. Either you stepped on the stupid thing, weren't paying attention, which if you're in an area where there's rattlesnakes, you better pay attention and you better be dressed properly. You're stupid if you don't. The other thing is if he bites you, most people get bit by rattlesnakes trying to catch one, trying to pick one up. There's a reason they make that noise. They want you to go away because when they shoot you full of that venom, they use that to hunt. They're going to be hungry now because they used your venom in you and they can't swallow your ass and it's going to kill you. It's a waste for everything. The other thing, after the snake bites them, what do? This and you run. Hold that snake venom in and run. You're pumping it through your damn body. You want to do this to cut off the circulation so it won't go any farther, and then you calmly try to calmly go for help. Now in Australia, that's a different story, but hell, they got the Taipan. I used to have friends that were in Vietnam called the Taipan. They called that the 2-step. That's how long you live after it bites you. 2 steps. Yeah, friends that run across those in rice paddies in Vietnam when they were over there during the Vietnam War. Yeah. I'm glad we don't have those. That's like the most venomous snake in the world. Hey, the king cobra will spit venom in your eyes, so and they can be this far away and still get you in the eye. All it takes is a drop in your tear duct. Speaking of picking things up and putting them down, Moss Hall, scorpions. Scorpions like to hang around shadowy areas like rock piles and stuff. I was up in the mountains down here south of me near Fort Huachuca. There's a bunch of gold mines up in those mountains. And so there's a lot of big chunks of white quartz because that's an indicator for gold, believe it or not. Beautiful snow white stones. So I had some friends, we were gathering a bunch of those rocks to take down to their yard in Bisbee. And I picked up this rock and I saw something dark move and I turned it over. Fucking scorpion! Oh my god! And it was like right next to my little finger. I dropped that rock in a big hurry. Those suckers hurt when they get you. Yeah. They hide it, and then because they'll do that. My aunt got stung by a scorpion. They lived out at a trailer court out in the country, trailer park, and because it was always under construction and upheaval and stuff. They'd have snakes in the house. They get a rattlesnake in the house, in a cupboard or something. Tarantulas, scorpions, all that kind of stuff. Well, she goes and she's doing dishes, and you know how they'll take a dish rag and cut it in half, and some lady will crochet a thingy on it, and so that you can put it over your handle on your stove. And she reached down to dry her hands on that towel, and up in the folds of the towel was a scorpion, and he nailed her. Sick for a while. So, but my neighbor, when I was really little, we lived at the Grand Canyon. My next door, we lived in a duplex, and the guy that lived on the other half of the duplex was an electrician, and he worked on the electrical lines down in the canyon, down on the Indian reservation, down in the Grand Canyon. And he was standing on a rock and working, and a scorpion crawled up his pant leg. And he didn't feel it crawling because it was crawling up the pants part, not the skin part. He didn't feel it. And it got way up to his thigh where the pant leg started to constrict on him. And then when he moved, wham, that scorpion nailed him. And it hurt so bad. He knew what it was. And he just undid his pants, started shedding his pants, his jeans. And it nailed him 2 more times down his leg. The guy was like, for a month, I'll never forget this. I think I was 5. First time I'd ever seen a man other than my dad in his boxer shorts because his leg was so fucking swollen. He couldn't wear anything over his leg because the scorpion bit him 3 times in the same leg. I was just a little girl, really little girl. Yeah. We were 3 when I moved to the Grand Canyon. I was 3 when we moved to the Grand Canyon. Yeah. Kennedy was assassinated when I was in kindergarten at the Grand Canyon. I'll never forget it. My mom came home from school and my mom was crying and my dad was comforting her, and I didn't understand why until the funeral. And then I was pissed off because the funeral was on a Saturday and it preempted cartoons. And I can remember John doing his little wave. He and I were the same age, and all I could think of was, oh, his daddy got killed. That's all I was 5 years old? Yeah. Well, I'm going to need to go. I'm hungry. Go have my macaroni and cheese beans. Macaroni and beans. Macaroni and cheese beans. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I love talking to you, Stony, Mosshole. You know, solving all the problems of the world. Actually, that's what tomorrow's for. That's what tomorrow night's for. That's going to be an interesting live stream. All my big time people, I'm trying to acquire them to come and talk with people on my channel. And, you know, I've got ideas and they got ideas. And together, we're bringing in the Renaissance. I firmly believe that. Times are better. Times are better. I love you too. I love you guys. Got one watching. Just one. Be kind to one another. And most of all, be kind to yourself, you guys. I love you. We'll see ya tomorrow. Tomorrow night between 5 and 6 Pacific time. Same bat time. Same bat channel. I love you. See you later.